Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Brain Block here, and today I will show you how to make a basic recipe on puff pastry. So first of all, we will need 250 grams of strong or plain flour, and I'm just using the Asda Value brand. 1.5 kg for 45p, which is a bargain. You'll need 125 grams of cold or stroke iced water, which I've already put in the fridge. I'll be taking out. A pinch of salt. 250 grams of cold unsalted butter, which again is in the fridge, and some cling film, a bowl, a scale and a wooden spoon. So first of all, let's measure out 250 grams of plain flour. Just put a bit more in here. And there we have it. I'm just going to throw that in the bowl. And I'm just going to get my water and butter out of the fridge now. And you'll need 125 grams of cold water, which I don't think is the same as 125 milliliters of water. So I'm just going to measure 125 grams of water. If you're going to place a glass or cup on a scale, make sure you calibrate it again and turn the settings back to 0 grams. That's roughly 100. And there we are, 125. So just pour this in and mix it with the wooden spoon you have until all the flour is basically turning into a dough. So make sure you just scrape all the dry flour from the sides of the bowl and underneath the bowl. And then when it's stuck together, make sure just get your hands in there, and you'll have to knead it for around 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes. So if you've got an electric whisk or electric beater, that's about 5 minutes in there, if not less. And basically by mixing it, you're developing something called gluten inside, and it's basically, it helps with the rising of the dough and everything else. So I'm just going to knead it for around 10 minutes and then we'll go on to the second part of the recipe. Okay guys, I've kneaded the dough, so I've knuckle kneaded it. So this is the action you need to take. Just flatten it out in the bowl and then roll it over itself like that, and then keep on pushing it in. And I've done that for about 5 to 10 minutes. And now I'm going to wrap it up in cling film and store it in the fridge for approximately 2-ish hours. Okay, so now that the dough has been in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours, we've just taken it out, and now we are just going to flatten out 250 grams of butter here. And to do that, you need to wrap your dough and chill it for a few hours at least, which we've already done. And at the same time now we will place the butter between 2 large squares of baking paper and bash it with a rolling pin until it's basically 1 centimeter thick. So we're just going to try that now. So just be careful guys with this, because it's going to be really hard to push down because it's just come out from the fridge, this butter, so just be careful in kneading it. You don't want to cause too much chaos here. So we're going to try and be as gentle as we can, rolling it to both sides. And if you do notice some of the butter coming apart, then just fix it back together and redo your rolling. And if it's too cold, you can basically leave it at room temperature for about 10ish minutes maybe to soften it and start re-rolling it again. So I'm not even rolling it at this stage, I'm just pushing down the rolling pin in the butter and letting that do the work for me. So you need it to be about 1 centimeter thick, so that's roughly ½ an inch. So about that thick. I'm not sure if that's going to help, but that thick. It's not a perfect square, don't worry about that either. Guys, there we have it. So it's about that's the thickness roughly. And now we're going to just roll out our dough. But before we do that, we're going to flour our surface, and I'm using a pastry board which is made out of glass here, and that should help with it not sticking to the surface of it. So I'm just going to do that now. Need a bit more. Flour both your hands if necessary as well. That will help. And now we're just going to roll it out to a big rectangle, and it's going to be at least as wide as the butter and twice as long. So just going to use that for reference. That's roughly okay now. Now I'm just going to roll it to make it longer. So now we're just going to take our slab of butter that we rolled, which is still cold actually. It's come out beautifully because we've placed it. And now we're just going to place it in the middle, well, on one side of the dough. Now we're just going to fold our dough over the butter, and we're going to pinch the sides so they stick. So pinch all around the side of the dough so you seal it. So now we're just going to roll the dough again about 4 times. As long as it is now, so roughly 4 times longer, so it should cover the entire board we're working on really. Just be really careful here. And sometimes if you stand up, you'll have more power in your arms to roll it more efficiently rather. I think that should be about enough. And now we're just going to fold both ends roughly into the middle, so if it is sticking at the bottom, just be very careful when lifting it up. Maybe flour your hands out in the meanwhile too. There we are. And just going to make it middle. That's roughly fine. Now we're going to do another fold to close it. And that's one total fold done. Now we just need to wrap the dough in cling film, put it in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then do what we've done before. So all the folds we've done before 2 more times, and between each fold make sure you have a 15 to 20 minutes gap. And a good way of knowing how many folds you've done is just pinch one side of the puff pastry to mark the amount of rolls you've done, so like a tally. So this is just going to go in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes, and we're going to do the rolling again twice with the 15 to 20 minute intervals. And then our pastry should be made and ready to be used as you wish. So here we go.